Hey,
How you doing?
Mr. O'Keefe, how's it going?
Nice to see you.
My name is Elad Eliyahu. We've met once before, but
yes.
I'm excited for the formal interview.
Nice to see you.
So we're out here in Orlando, Florida for CPAC. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you decided to come out?
Well, we were offered a chance to speak. We brought our 6 whistleblowers on stage from Facebook, Google, Pinterest, the USPS, and they came on stage, and I think it was inspirational, and hopefully we inspire some more people to do the same.
Awesome. I wanted to ask you, we've been talking about a lot of issues that the American people are facing in the United States nowadays. We have the lockdowns, right? People are nervous about being canceled. I wanted to ask you, what do you think the biggest threat Americans are facing today?
Not getting information that's true, getting information that is not true, and information that is true is called disinformation. We're sort of living in a variation of George Orwell's 1984. This idea of newspeak or doublethink, that our journalists are not doing journalism. We saw it firsthand with the stories that we did in the fall, which were incontrovertibly true. They were videotape of cash exchanged for ballots, and the media attacked us, defamed us. It was disgusting, and we're going to sue them, by the way. We are suing the New York Times for defamation. So I think these are the biggest threats we face. Someone has to fight back. We're doing it in our own way.
I wanted to follow up with you on that. Were you talking specifically about the case of Ilhan Omar's
Yes.
constituents, or like somebody she was working with buying ballots? People were saying that this was widely discredited. The person who
exactly.
was
And that's defamatory. It wasn't discredited.
Sure.
And they interviewed the individual in the vehicle that had all the ballots all over his lap, and they just interviewed him on the record, and he just made some stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
So we intend to sue that man for defamation.
As I understand, they said there was no link between him and the Ilhan campaign.
We
What do you
stand
think?
by our reporting about exactly what was stated in the expose.
Mm-hmm.
And it is illegal to have more than 3 ballots in the vehicle. That is indeed illegal. But
So,
nobody
yeah.
reported that.
Yeah.
So what is that if not disinformation? For the mainstream media to selectively edit that out of their articles. And that's what they do. See, this is what they do. It's the boycott of inconvenient doctrine. It's all about narrative to the mainstream media. They show you what they want to show you. And that's not fair. So it's basically a form of psychological projection. It goes back to Carl Jung. It's a Freudian thing.
It's interesting.
They project onto me what it is that they do.
Yeah.
They deceptively edit. They use anonymous sources. We show you people's faces. We don't report anything unless you can see the person's lips moving. The
Well, wait,
Washington
in the
Po-
Ilhan,
yeah.
for the Ilhan case, weren't some of the faces blurred for the other source? I think there were 2 sources.
I believe there was one, but the New York Times said that we solely use anonymous sources, which was a damned lie.
It seems like there's a battle for journalism
Did you
going
just
on
hear
here.
what I said?
Yeah.
The New York Times lied about us, and we're going to sue them, and we're going to win. And that scares the shit out of them.
Yeah.
As it should, because we're going to depose them. We're going to put them under oath. And if you lie about Project Veritas, you will pay. You will apologize, you will retract, and you'll eventually give me money. That's how it works. They've never faced a foe like Project Veritas. They've never met anyone like me. I don't care what they think about me. But if you lie about me, I will make you tell a federal judge under oath what the truth is, contradicting yourself, embarrassing yourself, you retract, you pay. They've never dealt with someone like us.
Let me follow up and ask you, because there seems to be a battle over journalism going on, because everything you're saying about them, they say about you, right? So
Yeah,
you
but the difference is,
Sure.
I have a wall in my headquarters of all the corrections they've made.
Yes. But that's a
I'm
good
sure
thing
you-
that they
I'm
made
sure-
corrections.
Oh,
No, making corrections.
I've only made 1 or 2 corrections in my entire career. I stand by all of our journalism. I've won every lawsuit that we've litigated at Project Veritas.
When they say that you guys misleadingly edit-
excuse me,
yes.
they settle scores of lawsuits.
Of course, yes.
The CNN settled lawsuits. You should go talk to them about that. Why are they settling lawsuits with Nick Sandman? I don't settle lawsuits at Project Veritas. We've never settled 1 lawsuit at Project Veritas. That's an extraordinary accomplishment. Find another chairman of another media company which hasn't settled a lawsuit. So, again, it's George Orwell's 1984. It's called newspeak or doublethink. To believe that black is white, and then 1 minute later to say that black is black, and to never have acknowledged saying black is white. It's psychotic.
Please let me follow up. I
Okay.
wanted to ask, do you think this is an issue on just one side of the political
No.
aisle, as i.e.
No,
the
I
liberal source?
don't.
Because now let me get the full question out. Because as I understand, some farther right-wing media sources are also dealing with getting sued for libel and stuff like this. So is this an issue of
Lying is wrong.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself part of the conservative movement.
Sure.
I think fact-finding has become a conservative endeavor for reasons I don't understand.
Do you only find facts, though, that happen to help conservatives? Like, you're never going after any.
I
so-called
published a videotape in New Hampshire. I published Raquel Rodriguez was helping a Republican Congressman Garza. She was arrested for ballot harvesting. I published a videotape of a Republican Senate not majority leader, but president of the Senate Wisconsin. He was a Republican. He resigned. I published a videotape in New Hampshire showing ballots given out in the names of Republicans.
Okay.
And over time, you're going to see. I mean, we did a story on Jeffrey Epstein. That's not a Republican story. That was Amy Robach of ABC News. But again, it's just funny because the media is entirely monolithic in who they go after, and they're considered all the news that's fit to print. Dean Baquet, the head of the New York Times, has to appeal to his audience. He is a slave to his subscribers, and they can't publish facts that run contrary to narratives. For example, they don't report on any voter fraud. Now, you can say that the voter fraud is not magnanimous enough to swing an election, but there still is some degree of fraud. Don't tell me that fraud doesn't happen.
Couldn't you say
That's
that fraud
absurd.
exists in every election, though? Do you think there was enough evidence for fraud to overturn the election?
And maybe Project Veritas needs to do more, but don't hate me for exposing fraud wherever it may be. That's just an absurdity. It's like, well, fraud isn't big enough. Well, let's say, who are you to say fraud isn't big enough? If fraud happens on any level, it deserves to be reported on. And the fact that the New York Times did defame me, it's anathema to what journalism ought to stand for. I have to go. If you have one more question.
Can I get that? Yeah. Do you think there was enough evidence to overturn the 2020
I don't
election?
know, but I'm fighting.
Evidence currently out, though, so we can't ever know the totality.
You're not even allowed to report on evidence, my friend, without being banned from Twitter. You can't even do reporting on facts without being banned. So your question has unfortunately become a cancel question. If I engage in reporting on fraud, they defame me. So unfortunately, I can't answer.
Project Veritas gets suspended.
Yeah, but I stand by reporting, and I will defeat them in federal court. You watch.
Thank you so much for your time. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Hometown legend.
Yeah, you the boys, Long Island boys, Long Island boys. Did you see the little push at the end, or was that just me? The little, wasn't there a little? I'm sensitive. But wasn't there a little something?
I think you touched him.
Wait, no, it was sexual harassment. I'm gonna me too her. Yeah.